Yo, yo, what's good, man? This is your boy at DFS Mastermind _ over on Twitter. I'm gonna keep this video nice and short. Thank you for tuning in. I gotta give a shout out to all my new subs, man. Thank you. I appreciate y'all for checking me out. For everybody that's already sub, y'all know what it is. Gang. I appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate all the positive words people been giving me. I really do appreciate it, man. So I'm going to talk to you about these playoff games tomorrow. As you see my top picks on the screen right now, this video could be a tad bit biased because I'm a Tennessee Titans fan, man. We made it to the playoffs, but let me break down and explain some of these plays. I got Marcus Mariota. For the simple fact, I'm gonna run through everybody real quick for you. Tom Brady, excellent play. If you want to pay up for him, I think in cash games he's gonna be a-okay. Titans defense is very stout when it comes to slowing down the run. Versus the pass, man, I gotta say we're not dominant, man. We're not dominant at all. That's where we give it up. I believe we're the top. It's either between us and Philly as a top rushing defense in the NFL. Not really sure where we place, but I know it's very close to the top. But passing, we're way down there, man. We're not good. So Brady is definitely in play. The only drawback on Brady is if you take a look at his past 4 or 5 games towards the end of the season, he was very pedestrian. I don't know if good old Mother Nature is catching up to him. I think Tom Brady is the GOAT, so that sounds crazy to even be saying that, but he just hasn't been having explosive games. They've been winning games, but he hasn't had to do a lot, man, and maybe they're trying to save him for the playoffs. Who knows, man, but either way it goes, he's okay. I don't see a ceiling type game for Tom Brady, though. I think they come in, do their normal routine. He's going to get the job done, throw a couple TDs, but I don't see nothing spectacular. So that's why I'm not going to choose him in a DFS perspective for GPPs, that is. Cash games, I think he's fine. Ownership should be there. I think he's solid. Now, Drew Brees is A-okay in my opinion. 6,300. The only thing that scares me off Drew Brees is the rushing attack is so dominant, man. It's just super dominant. I see a lot of Mark Ingram in this game. I see a lot of Kamara in this game. That's just my take on it. Big Ben is going up against arguably the best secondary in the NFL. So I'm going to skip past him. I see a lot of Le'Veon Bell work, though. So I'm going to definitely have him. Case Keenum, I am just not a believer. And he's going up against a stout Saints defense. I'm not a fan of that. So I'm going to pass on him and Marcus Mariota. All right, so if we follow the script, man, Vegas saying Tennessee's supposed to lose. Okay, I get it. I think we win this game, honestly, man. That's just my Titans bias kicking in. But I believe we win this game. And even if we don't win, the narrative is that we'll be down the majority of the game. So that means Mariota is going to have to make something happen. He has a cheap price tag. I think we can run him out there. And I also notice he is the only quarterback with rushing upside, man. All year I was targeting quarterbacks with rushing upside. The ground yards from your QB are super important. So I want to really lock him in. My top options in GPP format is between Mariota and Matt Ryan. Those are my favorite 2 quarterbacks on this slate, man, but my favorite is definitely going to be MM8. I want to go ahead and lock him in. Now, I mentioned Le'Veon Bell going up against the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think it's just a heavy dose of Le'Veon. Jacksonville secondary is very stout, like I said, but they're a reverse funnel for giving up big plays on the ground. So I think they just pound the ground game, man, with Le'Veon Bell. You got a workhorse for a reason. I think he sees a ton of carries. I'm not going to be on the fade train, man, even though I want to, just because I know ownership will be there, but I'm not going to miss out on an opportunity for a 30-piece for Le'Veon. So I'm going to go ahead and plug him in. And then I think Mark Ingram's price is just way too cheap. Going up against the Minnesota Vikings, I think a lot of people will be off the train. I think the Saints defense stand pretty tall against Against Case Keenum, man, I'm not a believer, even though he's been solid all year. And I think we just see a slow game, man. I think it's a very low scoring game. I think Mark Ingram and Kamara get a ton of work. I'm going to just go for the cheaper Saints running back. We know he's the goal line guy for the majority of the time. So I want to go ahead and lock him in. One more guy that I was looking at, maybe you want to flex somebody. A cheap flex would be Jay Ajayi. I think he's in a very solid spot. And then if you want to pay up just a little bit more, you got Leonard Fournette in a beautiful spot. Derrick Henry, that's my boy, but his price is up there. I'm going to have to fade him this week. I was on the train last week. He got the job done for me. I'm going to have to fade him this week, though. And then as you see let me go back to Mark Ingram. Boom. And then as you see my top receiver, very, very cheap. Now, he's not the highest price receiver that I have, but my favorite receiver on this slate is going to be Rashard Matthews. I want to go ahead and stack him up with my boy Mariota. Like I said, man, the experts say, Vegas is saying we're going to be down, we're going to lose the game. So for a DFS script, we want a quarterback who's going to have to throw the ball, man. And I want to get his number one target. More than likely, I will have Matthews and Delaney Walker in there. Just go ahead and grab his top two targets. And then I'll flex Austin Hooper. I really love Austin Hooper in this spot. I think he goes under the radar. One of the cheaper tight ends. I think a lot of people will chase Gronk for good reason. Very fantastic spot for him. I don't see no way the Titans slow him down. I know he'll eat, but I'm not going to have enough money to pay up for him. So my top two will be Delaney Walker or Austin Hooper. Now, let me give you my high price wideout, and then I'm going to get out of here, man. If I'm paying up, it is simple. It's going to be Julio Jones for me. Anytime I like Julio, I also like Mohamed Sanu. So we can definitely look at those two. If you want to do a little Matt Ryan stack with Julio and Sanu, I can get behind that, man. I really don't mind it. Another guy I think is pretty cheap is Brandon Cooks, man. I don't know if Dory Jackson is going to have the speed to keep up with him. And then Stefan Diggs, I think he's going to be in a very solid spot as well. And that's pretty much it, man. That's all the information I got for you today. Oh, defense. I got the Titans, man. I'm tightening up. Very cheap. I want to get as many utility players as I can, expensive players as I can. So I'm going to just go with the Titans defense. I know we'll get a few sacks, maybe a few turnovers. Tom Brady's been throwing some picks in his recent games. And I really love our run game defense, man. Our rush defense is very, very solid, which makes it hard to pass, man. If you can't get those first few yards on the ground, it is going to be very hard to move the ball. I think the Titans go out and put up a really nice fight, and we're going to win the game, man. I'm going out and saying it. We're going to shock the world. We're going to tighten up. That's how we do, man. It's a little biased, I know. This could be a very biased video. I got 3 Titans in here for you. But I'm going to get out of here, man. I want y'all to bless up. I want y'all to have a good night. Hopefully y'all get into the green line in that NBA. Big Cat. My picks are looking fire right now. Big Cat is going off. Malcolm Brogdon had like 28. Collison 33. And we waiting for... Who we waiting for? We're waiting for Green and Bender, man. Hopefully y'all looking solid. I'm looking pretty good. A lot of people, I was looking through a lot of lineups, man. I don't know what some people was thinking. It was one of those weird off nights, man. A lot of the people that went off were very, very low owned, and people were stuck on high owned players who didn't really produce. Hopefully y'all on the right end of that. But I want y'all to bless up. Let's get to the green line. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Gang.